Let's see here. Ooh. Oh my.
Speed is what you need if you wish to succeed in Targem Games' latest title, BlazeRush. Released on both Steam and, oddly, the PlayStation 3 for $9.99, BlazeRush is a fun arcade game filled with utter chaos. The game keeps things simple. There's an evil corporation called the Corporation who's trying to stop all races in the galaxy. This is a bad thing because you like to race. And that's it. That's the whole plot. BlazeRush cares nothing for in-depth storytelling, and only really tells you any of it through some short, non-voice-acted text boxes here and there in the game. The game really only cares about a couple of things, like this, and this, and sometimes this. BlazeRush is a isometric combat racing game not too dissimilar from something like Rock and Roll Racing, with a little bit of Mario Kart thrown in the mix. Racers do their best to stay on the track and grab pickups while dodging attacks from other racers to try to win. Unlike a kart racer though, pickups are dropped randomly in BlazeRush. They rain in all around the track and it's first come, first served to whoever picks them up. There are two main kinds of pickups. You got boosts and you got weapons. Racers can only have one of each at any given time, and each one is shown visibly on the vehicle of whomever picked it up, so you always know who has what. BlazeRush does something very smart with its pickups though, and how it introduces them to you. You see, races are only unlocked by collecting cups or trophies from previous races, and the game only starts you with a couple races unlocked. Each race of the game only allows you to use specific pickups depending upon where you are within your career. While they rarely take pickups away, they do constantly add new ones depending upon which area of your career you're actually in. But there's more. Each area of the game is usually focused around some kind of new pickup, be it rockets, saws, or a new boost. This way you get a chance to learn how the new pickup works and understand the best times to use them before being introduced to another new one. It's a really smart thing for Targem games to have done. Due to this, I would highly recommend playing some of the career mode before trying any of the multiplayer modes. BlazeRush has both local and online multiplayer and even is sold in a 4-pack on Steam. You can really tell that Targem designed this game for multiplayer, but sadly, I've yet to actually see anyone in an online lobby to try it out. The game's AI is still pretty good though, and offers a good challenge for you even if you can't play with other people. One of BlazeRush's greatest and worst features has got to be its camera. The game is very chaotic in nature, as cars are constantly being thrown around the screen, but unlike other racing games, the camera for this one doesn't actually follow your car. Instead, the camera focuses on the middle of the pack, and anyone who falls too far behind is teleported back onto screen. This means that no one is ever safe, no matter which place they are in or where they are on the track, and the game is a constant battle as everyone is always located in the same location and can easily try to make a comeback. Due to the camera, though, I find it sometimes hard to tell what exactly is going on in the game. The game's graphics are great, but without the camera focusing on my specific car, I sometimes lose track of myself among all of the chaos. In career, your car is always red, and there are a few things on screen to help indicate which car you're specifically controlling, but even with that, there are times when I just get lost and don't know where my car is on the screen. The camera's placement also fights against whoever's up front, as you can't see that far ahead of you to know when you need to turn or if there's something in your way. There is a mini-map on the screen, but I find its location pretty useless and hardly end up looking at it. Same goes for most of the UI as well. They're just not in that useful of locations where my eyes are looking. My eyes are usually on the middle of the screen, while all of the UI is off in a corner somewhere. The game's camera was designed for local multiplayer. With this setup, you can play with a bunch of people on one screen without having to do anything like split screen, and it's great for that. Just not all that great for anything else. BlazeRush also has a ton of cars to pick from. Each car has its own stats for acceleration, mass, and handleability. Speed in itself isn't all that important in the game, since players are always kept close to each other. Acceleration, however, is a huge factor as it determines how quickly you can get up to top speed. Cars with more mass can easily push around those with lower mass, but always have slower acceleration. Cars with high acceleration tend to be low on mass, which makes them also low on handling. It's an interesting mix of stats and always seems to balance itself out, and I've yet to actually see one particular racer who's better than everyone else all of the time. While you can always pick whatever racer you want from the ones you've unlocked for any race, some of them are better for particular race types than others. BlazeRush's greatest weakness would have to be its lack of game types or race types, and there's really only 3. You've got your basic race, where whoever comes in first wins after 3 laps. King of the Hill, where players in first place gain points, and whoever gets to 50 points first wins. And lastly, an elimination mode, where racers are fleeing a giant steamroller machine. Elimination races are broken up into rounds, and points are given out depending upon when you're taken out during that round. Last man standing gets the most points, and everyone respawns in a line in order from who died first to who didn't die at all. Outside of the races, there are some time trials thrown into the mix where you're given a specific car, specific track, and pickup, but that's really about it. Well, not entirely, as you'll sometimes come across night versions of previous races, but those flat out suck in my opinion, and I tend to ignore them. It's amazing how not a single one of these cars has any headlights. Anyway, the game really does only rely on its constant addition of pickups to help keep gameplay interesting, but I really would have liked to have seen some more game types thrown into the mix. Overall, BlazeRush is a great game. I feel that it would be much better with friends than alone, but I still really enjoyed my time with it. The graphics are great, the music is pumping, and the mechanics are both solid and arcade-like. The lack of game types and current lack of an online community does make me feel that the $10 price may be a little bit too much, but I can say that even without those specific things, I've put 3 hours in the game so far, and I'm still very interested in playing more. That's all I got to say about BlazeRush, so please let me know what you think about the game or this video in the comment section. I've been Man, and I'll talk to you guys later. Rooms, mystery box rooms, scroll rooms, obelisk rooms, and even secret rooms to find. Most of these are pretty self-explanatory, as strap rooms are rooms that have traps in them. I know, it's a big surprise there. Treasure rooms have traps that you have to avoid to get the treasure.